Welcome back to Groom Productions, and in today's video we'll be taking a look at 3 new prototype leaks that could all potentially be new animatronics for the Spirit Halloween 2025 season. Before we get into that though, I would like to give a big shout out to Wyatt the Scarecrow. That is where I got these photos from his most recent community post. However, I believe he got these photos from that decorator Grayson. So, shout out to them as well. I'm assuming that's who we got them from. But I got these specific photos from Wyatt the Scarecrow, so big shout out to you, dude. And yeah, anyways, let's go ahead and get started with the actual photos. So this first one here is of what we believe to be the Sinister Scarecrow, or Straw Man, sorry. The main reason being is because it looks exactly like the concept art that I showed off on the channel a few videos back. Of course, this is what we believe to be the prototype version, so it doesn't really look the best, but it definitely does have that, Mr. Dark, I guess, shape to it or form to it, but just in the Scarecrow like style. And of course, even though this is a prototype, I do still think it looks pretty decent. Of course, we're all expecting it to be more detailed and finalized in the final product, but as of now, the progress of the prop itself, I do think it looks pretty cool. The next animatronic that we'll be looking at is what some believe to be Backbend Betty. Now, I'm not really too sure on that because, from the concept art and that we've gotten, I think there's a better option for what Backbend Betty could also be. And it could be neither, to be honest, but I don't think this would be Backbend Betty just based off what it looks like the main detail of this animatronic is. I don't think that's the case. However, this animatronic looks pretty insane. It's this little girl that just has her entire bottom jaw just completely torn off from what it seems like, or maybe it's like elongated or something, and the top jaw is just gnarly looking, has these super sharp teeth. Again, this is the prototype too, so we don't even know how the real finalized design is going to look. It could be even more gruesome than this, but this is a pretty sick design, to be honest. A lot more scary than what we're used to as far as like the little girl props go. I'd be really excited to see this in person, if this is an actual Spirit Halloween animatronic that is going to be in stores, which I really hope that's the case. But yeah, I think, if this is kind of, just one of the animatronics, then we might be in for a really, cool and somewhat like nostalgic season as far as, the gore goes. There also seems to be another animatronic right in front of her. I'm not really too sure what that prop could be. Maybe that is the Backbend Betty that they're mentioning. It looks to be like some kind of clown in a way. Reminds me of Harriet Hustle a little bit with like the hair. Perhaps Backbend Betty is another kind of like acrobat clown, maybe like an act gone wrong or something, and that's kind of what this prop is. Who knows really, but it is very interesting to kind of see it. But yeah, I guess we'll find out here pretty soon what these props are. And last but certainly not least is the Valak animatronic that I did mention here on the last video of the channel, the Nun from The Conjuring. This is a prop that's been speculated for a very long time, and honestly, I think this is probably it. What most people are saying is that it's going to be some kind of like Emmeline jump scare animatronic, which would be really, really cool and sick for this character. But this also kind of confirms that this is like sort of a Spirit Halloween, warehouse of some kind, because we can see some of the props from the 2024 theme and Dagger Mike in this image, which is really cool. We can't really see a whole lot of Valak besides just how tall she is, I guess, and her clothing, of course, but it does seem to be a very imposing and towering animatronic, just considering the fact that this is the prototype. So, it could be even taller in person, or it could be a little bit shorter, who knows. But I'm going to estimate around the 7-foot height like Emmeline is. But yeah, this is basically a confirmation that this animatronic does exist, and it will be coming for the Spirit Halloween 2025 season. Anyways, guys, that's going to do it for this video. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and tell me down in the comments below what is your favorite out of the 3, and just who are you most excited to see for Spirit Halloween this year. Anyways, guys, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.